Cam Radio, we go ham with your boy Tony G, Big Lou. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone had a great New Year's and a lot of football to talk about. We got college, we got pro. We're gonna fit it in. We'll even cover some basketball. But LSU winning, they had their hands full.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
I was
Wisconsin gave them a game. They gave them a game the whole time. They were completing plays down the field offensively, defensively. They were stepping up. Trying to hold the LSU defense, but they came through in the end and persevered. It was a good game for the Tigers. But Wisconsin gave them. It was
everything
one
they
of the
asked
good
for.
bowl games. Yeah, they gave them everything
Yeah,
in the kitchen sink.
and then Tennessee destroyed Iowa.
Oh my goodness!
Um,
Now that
yeah,
was the surprise game for me, Tony. I did not think
yeah,
that Tennessee was going to dominate Iowa like they did. I thought Iowa was going to at least give them a good game, or I thought Iowa was going to keep it low score.
something. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I was a little bit surprised that Tennessee came out and just and just kind of handled it.
Yeah,
And then
especially with their rankings. With their rankings being so close.
this is true. This is very true. And then Oregon won big,
Mm-hmm.
40, 45 to
45-6. Yeah.
45-6. Yeah. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that one I wasn't surprised. I mean, Oregon was highly ranked over Liberty. They were, you know,
Yeah, and they
well, I guess
one of the hottest teams in that Pac-12. Surprisingly, the Pac-12 has some real good football this season, and Oregon was right there at the top the whole time.
yes, 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 yes. Another game that I want to talk about. Let me see. Uh, scores, and a lot of people. Let me see. I want to. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Was Florida taking that beating from Georgia?
Oh yeah, the
Try-
Florida State Georgia game.
Yeah, Florida State. I mean, it was a beating. And then people were. I guess a lot of people were thinking, well, there it is, 63
Yeah,
to
up to 3-3. You know,
63.
and,
I mean,
and that just goes to show you uh, the separation from the level of talent when it comes to the SEC and these other divisions or these other school divisions, because now Florida State was ranked number 5, Georgia was ranked number 6, but they
6.
scored 60 more points on them in that game. So
It never was
that
close.
it was never close. So that should quiet all of the fairness and the things that all of the pushback we get for. But and I'm with them. I don't totally agree 100% with the voting committee, but when you
Right.
see scores like this on a regular basis, like for the last 2-3 seasons, then now you can kind of understand why they put the best qualified or the best capable teams, you know,
In the
into
playoffs.
this in the playoff as opposed to who has the best record.
Well, next year we go to 12, right? Eight.
I think
Yeah.
yeah,
We
I think it's 12. I think it's 12. It's either eight
yeah,
or it's 12, but I think you're right about 12.
yeah. They're
And
adding more teams,
mhm.
but that's basically what I was going to ask you. I mean, you answered my question with the way Georgia beat them. It just definitely shows the separation of. It's kind of like this is gonna. It was just funny, but it's kind of like if you shoot a 63 at Corby's golf course and Tiger hits a 64 at Augusta, it's not the same thing.
It's not saying.
Sounds the same, but it's
Yeah,
just not the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
Yeah,
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 it sounds saying, but it is just not saying.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Not totally different. Yeah, totally different level of competition.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, that
It was
was.
it was
I watched
yeah, it was
Jacksonville State and Louisiana going. Oh, I watched some of that game. That was a good game. Went to overtime.
mhm.
Um, trying to think of the other ones that I watched a couple different games. Like I said, the Georgia
Yeah,
game kind of
the Rutgers upset over Miami was a shocker to me because Miami looked like they was playing. They started off with the promise of the Miami of old, and then all of a sudden throughout the season things didn't work out as they wanted to. But Rutgers surprisingly won over them. That was a shocker to me too.
Yeah, there's a lot, like I said, and then we'll
Yeah,
have
yeah, it was a lot of it was
the
a lot of games.
championship. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah,
different.
I thought now I thought that USC Louisville game was going to be something at the beginning, but it seems like in that second half, USC finally clicked and they took control of that game. But Louisville was scoring on those guys willingly too. So they definitely USC is definitely going to have to beef up their defensive backs if they're going to be one of the top tier teams when it comes to making this playoff run next season.
Well, like LSU, we'll get back to LSU. I mean, their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback was not playing. You know what I
Right.
mean? That definitely changes because he's gonna go to the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people jump into. So that's my thing with the playoffs when they jump into the portal. That changes a lot of stuff too because now you got a lot of players that you built the whole season on are no
Right.
longer are no longer playing. So I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. You know, like what I think they ought to do, but
Right.
it definitely changes. You know, you take him out of the deal, and it's a pretty big. I mean, maybe that's why LSU had such a hard time,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
I'm sure it was. It just kind of it's the only negative about the portal and them jumping
Yeah.
to go to
Yeah.
jumping to
Yeah.
go into the NFL. Um,
Absolutely. They jump and go to the NFL and then they miss out on that bowl game, because I feel like with a lot of these players sitting out, you know, preparing themselves for the next level, some of these bowl games are gonna lose some of their prestige and significance. And we
I
got to
agree
make
with you.
sure that and we got to make sure we don't lose that. We got to keep that integrity and that the history and of those bowl games intact so that they'll be relevant and be of importance, when it comes to when they select the teams that go to these bowls. Like it was back,
Right.
back in our day, the bowl
Sure.
was sometimes more important than the teams that went to the bowl, you
Right.
know. So, but it was that bowl game that the emphasis was played on. The teams mattered, yes, but it was the bowl game that was the focal point as opposed of
Right.
what team is going to play.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff they need to work. They need to get that portal down. They need to get the money down. They got a lot of stuff. They opened up the Pandora's box for college sports. They got to get it under control. I think it's a work in progress, uh, and they will definitely get it. Definitely get it. They'll get it lined up.
Absolutely.
NFL. Joe Flacco, Cleveland.
Joey.
Joey Flacco, 309 yards. Cleveland. It was a Thursday night game. Cleveland 37, the Jets
Mhm.
20. Um,
Right?
Cleveland, and here's another thing
Joey
is,
Foots. Joey Foots.
yeah,
That's his new nickname on social media now. Joey Foots.
the rumor has
Yeah.
it that Deshaun Watson and Wilson will be let go. That's a rumor. But
Hmm.
if either one of those are true, if both of those are true, those are two teams that threw a lot of money at stuff. You think that
Absolutely.
changes the aspect of picking up these quarterbacks? No, it's one thing for Dak to get the money. He's with his existing team.
Hmm.
Lamar Jackson getting his money. He's with his existing team. But these guys leaving, there had to be a reason why that
Well,
Seattle.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would they just left the team that didn't want to pay them? Or I mean, they weren't going to pay him that kind of money, but you just throw the money at them.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, you think this changes the outlook on the quarterback contracts?
I think it's going to definitely affect incentives, but but the in Russell's situation, the NFLPA stepped in and they said that if the Broncos were to bench Russell Wilson, it would be a breach of his contract because of the clause that he had put in his contract about, getting incentives in case he's not injured. So they're going to have to let him play if he's not injured. If they bench him, he's not injured, they breached the contract clause that he has, and they're going to have to either let him play or they're going to get penalized. So
Wow.
it's a sticky situation. It's a sticky thing going over there. But I just think the ownership, Sean Payton took the job. Obviously, it was probably the highest paid job. That's why he took it. But I'm just looking at you. You didn't like the quarterback. There's very little veteran presence there, and then the ones that are there have big contracts coming up. So why would you take that job? You know,
Right.
but like I said, they probably had to, like, they offered the most, and of course you're going to take the job that pays the most money. It's just that the situation that you went in, especially knowing his contract,
Right.
so that's if they release him, that's $128 million that they're just giving him for free. And what if he ends up going to a team, that's just on the cusp, like a Minnesota, or somewhere like that, where
Yeah.
because Kirk Cousins' contract, I think it's up. I'm not
Yeah. I don't
sure
think
about what they're gonna
he's
do with
got.
him.
Yeah, he's injured, and they believe that he probably won't. He hasn't said anything, but they believe that he probably won't. He probably won't come back. I mean, he's had a nice long career. He's made a lot of money,
Yeah,
um, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, this Saturday game, did you? I watched this game from start to the end. Dallas Detroit. I was
yeah,
really surprised that Detroit came and played like that.
yes. I was shocked too, but I give kudos to Dan Campbell and um the uh let me see if I can get it out. The game plan that he brought with him. Now I don't now the fourth downs one of them I didn't mind. That last one I probably would have took the points as opposed to going for trying to do it a second time. I probably would have took the points. Toward the end, it depends on the situation, but toward the end of the game, I think I want to take the points and play defense, especially when their defense has been playing excellent all day. You know,
Right.
took the points and play defense and and put the pressure on Dallas. But um, you know, at the end there was a slight mishap, and the eligible lineman call, he went to the ref, told the ref that, I'm eligible, and somehow they still got that wrong. Now, um, what would have saved him, from what I understand, is that there was also another penalty that happened at the same time as the one that they called with the ineligible receiver, but they did not throw the flag for that second penalty. So if they had to throw the flag for the second penalty, then that probably would have saved them, from the mishap. But they didn't throw the
And it
flag
was,
for
yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
and
I because I really thought Dallas was. I mean, I didn't think that Detroit could keep up with Dallas. So my hats
the
off to. I mean,
yeah,
good win for the Cowboys, but the Detroit impressed me. I thought they were just going to get blown out by Dallas.
yeah.
It was a
And
heck
it's
of a game.
still right, and it's still right there in the hunt, in that playoff hunt. So they're still right there. So this loss really didn't hurt Detroit as much
Uh,
as it would have hurt Dallas if Dallas had a loss. But with
right.
Philly, but we'll get to Philly. We'll get to Philly in a second and talk about that shellacking as well.
Yeah. Um, Buffalo and New England. Buffalo squeezed it out. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a pretty win, but they kept winning. They're keeping their playoff hopes alive.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. This was another one that I like Chicago because Atlanta doesn't travel well and they don't do
Right.
well with the cold weather. Justin Fields
Right.
had a good day. I think Justin Fields has proven himself that he should be the quarterback for the Chicago, and they need to build around
Yes.
him.
Yes.
Um,
I wholeheartedly agree. And if
yeah,
they are, yeah, and if they are, thinking about trading him, that would be the team that they should send him to, because Atlanta has the picks to give up, if I'm not mistaken, and
Right.
then they'll probably draft Caleb Williams, and depending on what they get from Atlanta, try to get Marvin Harrison Jr. as a receiver for
Or
him.
Steve Graham.
You know, but
Right.
yeah,
That.
but yeah, but I think any team that if they trade Justin Fields, any team that he goes to that's got some form of solid offense intact, thinks going to do well. It just needs time to grow, and they don't
Yes.
have the resources in Chicago to give him. Plus, he's playing outside the majority of the time. If he
Yes.
goes to a dome team like Atlanta, then if he goes to Atlanta, he's playing in the dome 8 times because New Orleans has a dome. So they're playing twice in
Yeah.
their own dome, twice in New Orleans dome. They only have to worry about Tampa and
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yep.
Weather's great. Weather's great. So, that would
14
be an
games a
ideal
nice
spot.
one. That's true. That's very, very true. The Vegas and Indianapolis. The Indianapolis is in the hunt too.
Yeah.
Vegas played
Eh,
tough, lost.
right. And it seems like Indianapolis just won't quit. It seems like
Yeah, just
they have a streak going, then they'll fall down, but they will not they won't give up. They keep fighting, and
right.
that's good though.
Um, Kyle Murphy, Kyle Murray upsets Philadelphia. This I was surprised.
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah.
Philly's got some issues going on. They got some problems
Mm-hmm.
with that defense. The
Mm-hmm.
offense isn't clicking like it should. Still a dangerous threat going. I mean, they're going to the playoffs. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
But they're gonna have to get it together before. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're gonna
next
have to do
week
some
is the
work
last.
because next week's the last week, and then they're playing with field advantage, aren't they? So they're gonna have like what, one game at home, and then they're gonna have to go on the road for those other games. And looking at the way they've been playing over the last couple of weeks,
Not good.
it's not gonna be good for them on the road.
No, sir. No, sir. That is definitely um, the Saints pull it out over
Mm-hmm.
Tampa.
Saints, impressive win by the Saints. They pull it out over Tampa on the road. It's just unfortunate that Tampa has more wins under their belt, so they still hold a spot over them, even though they're both 8-8. Tampa Bay still holds the number one spot over them when it comes to the playoff uh, lineup.
Got more conference wins. Is that what it is?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I think they got more conference wins than the Saints do because they both have the same record. I just think they have more in conference wins. That's why they're number one and the Saints are number two. But
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't,
Yeah, but
you know,
good game though.
make the
Good
playoffs.
game.
Yeah, good game, excellent game. Good win for the Saints.
San Francisco coming off um, the debacle beats Washington. Purdy had 230. Actually, I mean they played well. Washington. I mean San Francisco won the game it needs to win. Um, Onward to the playoffs, basically for San
Yeah,
Francisco.
yeah,
Carolina, Jacksonville. Jacksonville handled their
yeah. They handle business.
business. Yes, they handled their business.
Mm-hmm,
Now this one, and this is a team that's maybe haven't paid attention to. Maybe they
mm-hmm.
weren't on. I mean, not really. I shouldn't say not pay attention to, but Baltimore is rolling at the right time. They beat the brakes off of
Mm-hmm. They
Miami.
just, yeah, they just straight up select the Miami Dolphins, and it once again goes to show that Miami has to step it up, with these road games, and when it comes to these teams that are above 500 or have winning, they struggle with them. Now, I
Yes,
don't know if there's a blueprint out that everybody's passing around for that offense, but they seem to have figured it out, and not only have the Baltimore Ravens won back-to-back games, both, well, one on the road against San Francisco, number one team in the NFC, and you come back and you select the one of the high-powered offenses in the AFC. You
yep.
just make it look
That's
like it's non-existent. So, and Lamar solidifying his spot as an MVP candidate. So
right.
they're clicking on all cylinders. The defense, they bend a little, but they don't break. They show up when they have to. and it looks like that they're the team to beat, and they have the momentum going.
They definitely, when they beat San Francisco. San Francisco had more yards than they did, and San Francisco moved the ball against them very easily. But they showed you why you can't make a lot of mistakes against them, kind of like San Fran does. But San Fran made mistakes that day, and Baltimore just took advantage of it. Tennessee and Houston. Houston handled Tennessee 26-3. C.J. Stroud had a good day. This one, I didn't. Pittsburgh going to Seattle and beating Seattle in Seattle. I did not see that one because I picked Seattle.
Right, but that's Pittsburgh. That's what
Yeah,
Pittsburgh do to us. They will stink at home, and you say, okay, blow it up, blow it up. It's over. It's done. And then they'll go on the road to Seattle, where it's the 13th man. No matter what team goes there, it's hard to win there. And
right.
they go there and they put up 30 on the Seahawks. It's amazing to me. It's like, what do you do? What do you do with that team? Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing,
In
uh,
17 years.
yeah, 17 years. He's been above 500. That speaks for itself. It's hard, to make a change when you're always in the green for the last 17 years. No, you haven't got to the big dance, but you've been in the green. So how do you, it's got to be personnel. Get some younger personnel, some younger guys, get somebody to run that offense for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. So there's been rumors in the air that they need, a change, a voice change in the locker room and things of that nature. But he's winning.
He is
So
winning. There's no doubt about that. Let me see. I'm going back. Hold on one second. Blue. All right. Let me see. Denver, and the Chargers. This is always a tight game, and it was 16-9. The underpaid, um, but really it was.
get him starting Derek Stidham.
Yeah, the
Derek Stidham.
Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers. I don't know. I think at the end of the year, I think we'll see them implode and then try to rebuild.
I agree.
They just can't. I don't know
Because
with all that talent and all that money
and
being
no
spent.
no 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 execution, right. You didn't get no effort or execution. Well, I'm not going to say you didn't get any effort. I'm pretty sure the effort was there, but it's just the execution. With all those veterans and all that football IQ you have on that field, and for the execution of that talent not to match. They had to make a coaching change. They had to do what they had to do. Now
Yeah, I mean something. I mean,
the big rumor out there is Jim Harbaugh, but Tony, I just think if any college coach comes to the NFL, they just want to coach in the NFL because they can they have more control and make way more money and have longer contracts.
yes, I agree. I agree.
But he's high on
I
the radar.
definitely.
He's one of the names that's on the radar. But I don't think Jim Harbaugh is going anywhere from it. I think he's going to stay there and continue the success with their program.
Kansas City and Cincinnati. Cincinnati, Kansas City kind of struggled, but they managed to get that win, um, get things back on track. Green Bay and Minnesota. Jordan Love starting to find his own. Starting to find his own.
Yeah, he's starting to find his way with the team. They play great game. I like the running game that they're implementing. So
Right,
now Green Bay is playing like you're not gonna make us pass. We're gonna pass when we want to. We're gonna beat you up with this two-headed monster running game, and then we're gonna pass
right.
when we want to pass to give Jordan Love the right looks. So that he can make the plays.
All right. So when we come back, we still got some time, but I wanted to go this. So right now, Miami Dolphins have clinched um, a playoff berth. All right. Kansas City has clinched wait a minute, clinched the division. Okay.
Mhm.
Baltimore is clinched the division and home field advantage. So right now, Jacksonville, Indianapolis Colts, and all right. So Jacksonville's first place, Indianapolis Colts second, Houston is third. They're all 9-7. So this week will be a big week for any one of those games because this is a time of
Mhm.
year where I always tell people gambling gets a little funny because you don't know who's got anything on the line, who's you know.
Right.
Yeah. So Denver's been eliminated.
Mhm.
The Cowboys and Philly are both in the playoffs. Nobody's clinched there.
Right.
Detroit has clinched, and San Francisco has clinched division and a bye. And
Mhm.
you guys are. I guess it's going to come down to this last. So you guys need to win, and Tampa Bay needs to lose.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a hold your own destiny. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. They never make it easy.
Yeah. So and the Rams clinched a wild card.
Yeah. What a comeback for them at the end of the season.
They did. What a comeback for them, huh, buddy? They really got it. Yeah, and
Got it
Cleveland.
together at the end.
Yeah, yeah, and Cleveland's clinched them a wild card. Cleveland could break. Cleveland could hurt some people's feelings.
Yeah, Cleveland is
I
the
mean,
dark horse team. They got all the momentum. They have the true Cinderella story. So Flacco getting off the bench, coming in and playing spectacular football, and that just goes to show, not to even bring the Jets in on the flowers that were given Cleveland, but that just goes to show you the Jets had Joe Flacco.
yeah,
They
just
had
not a
Joe
good.
Flacco.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
but the problem with the Jets is the Jets have they're a bad offensive team. So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
can't.
they're bad off
Yeah,
team. So
he can't do anything over there. It's a
yeah,
waste of.
it would. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely right. He wouldn't have been able to do what he's doing now. He wouldn't be able to do that over there.
right. So look, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Tony G, Big Lou. Lots of great stuff coming up for the new year. Looking forward to it. Going to try to put this in overdrive, take it to the next level. All right. So when we get back, we're going to cover our last week of regular season. Get some picks, see what we got, and we'll go from there. Right here on KM Radio, where we go ham.
Hell,
Cam Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. The sports book. Like I said, guys, we got some ideas for the 2024 year with the sports book. We're going to try to go to the next level. This week coming up, game one, which will be what is that? That will be the tomorrow. It will be the 6th. It'll be Pittsburgh and the Baltimore Ravens.
ooh,
Now, should be a good game.
mm-hmm.
Do the Baltimore Ravens? Do the Baltimore Ravens? Do they sit Lamar or do they play him? I say they sit him.
I say that too. Uh, Sid Lamar,
I'm
Sid Lamar, let him be healthy throughout your playoff run. You
right.
pinch, you have nothing to lose. Let Lamar rest, and I'm pretty sure Lamar's going to want to play because he's that competitor. But
Sure.
we got to look at the we got to look at the big picture. Because playoff football is a whole nother animal. It hit harder. Everybody runs faster. Every play, means something.
So now,
I agree with Tony.
so here's my thing now. So since we're saying that, okay. So without Lamar, that changes this whole team. So I
Mm-hmm.
like Pittsburgh -4. See what I'm saying? Now you got to make sure this is
Right,
the time of year you got. Pittsburgh's trying to win. They want to win 10 games.
right,
Baltimore don't have to win anything. They've already got their home field advantage.
right.
I'm saying you rest up Lamar, you rest up that running back, you rest up whoever
Right.
else you got.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Pitt -4. Now the over under is 37. This is going to be a tough game because they play tough with each other. Um, but I do like Pitt because of the circumstances that we're talking about. I like Pitt -4. Now the next game is this is one of them games that's for it's Indianapolis Colts against the Texans. So this game means something.
Yeah, to both teams.
Both
Yeah,
teams. Now Houston is playing at home.
mm-hmm.
They're +1. It's almost like a pick 'em. Um,
Yeah.
you realize that CJ Stroud might go to the playoffs. That's pretty. I'm impressed.
That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. To make you bring your team, losing break team, and you step on the field and they get to the playoff. And then to me, D'Amico Ryans has got to be coach of the year.
I know, right?
If not him, then head coach for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. 3
Mm-hmm.
backup quarterbacks, right?
3 backup quarterbacks in your, playoff contention. That's impressive.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it is impressive. I like Houston at home +1.5.
Okay.
Um, staying away from the. Guys, excuse me, I'm kind of getting over a cold, so bear with me.
Yeah. It's in the it's
It's
in
in
the
the
air.
air.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
in the
gosh,
air.
it is. Um. Oh, all right. Now, so I was talking about this last week, Lou. People ask
Mm-hmm.
me. There's been a lot of not a lot, but there's been some big parlay winners, and what they've done is they've gone inside the games and they'll pick a bunch of people to score touchdowns.
Right,
Like
right,
you score a touchdown, I score a touchdown by 3, 4 different games, 3, 4, 5 different people. They got big
right,
paydays.
right.
Not a bad. Ain't no wrong with throwing $5 or $10 on that. I was telling somebody their desk. I'm not. Just don't bet the house on it. Those are. That's like buying a lottery ticket. If it wins, it's
Right.
great. If it doesn't, you're still good. Um,
Right.
Now here's a game that's going to be for the pride. New York Jets, New England Patriots. New
Yeah.
England's playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly Bill Belichick's last game as a New England Patriot.
Possibly.
Um, Possibly, and it pretty much is going to be. Who do you like? You like him going on a winning
I,
note?
I I do believe that they're going to stand tall for Bill Belichick, especially against the Jets. I don't think they're going to let Bill lose to the Jets in his final game. Especially in Gillette Stadium, his final game. I don't think that team is going to let Bill lose to the Jets. So I think I like New England in this one. I think they're going to have as long as they keep Pat Jones from under center. But I
Right.
understand that they don't have too much to choose from. But I just feel like this team is not going to let Bill down. I think they're going to pull it off, especially against the Jets.
The over under is 30. This is going to be a tight game. Um, and a lot of people might go, well, man, it's only 30 points. But to be honest with you, um, it is only 30 points. But the Jets
Right,
do have a good defense. Yeah, I think I
right.
can see this. Yeah, 14. I see this game being 18-6. Something like that.
Yeah,
But I do like.
absolutely.
I'm not against the under. I'm gonna write it down.
Mm.
All right. Now this next game, I'm gonna have to look and see if it has any impact. All right. It's Cleveland Browns at Cincinnati. So Cincinnati's already been eliminated.
Mm-hmm. Then to lose.
Cleveland, yeah, Cleveland could play for the second best record, but I say you play Flacco for maybe a few downs.
Mm-hmm.
You're already in the
Couple of
playoff.
series. Yeah, you already playing for a couple of series. Keep them warm. Keep them game ready, and then sit them down and give them the clipboard and let them coach for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Um, and that being said, without Flacco, I like Cincinnati. Um, but now again, this all changes. Like I said, we'll know Sunday. Um,
Right.
we'll know Sunday when we can get the reports because they'll announce it like who's not playing or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, without Joe Flacco, and I would rest all the running backs too.
Yeah. Yes. Because I want to
I
keep
would
them
get the
fresh.
I
Keep them fresh. Keep the hits on them to keep their body loose and to keep that pain tolerance up. Because the less
yes I
reps you take, that pain tolerance goes down. And especially in the playoffs, like I said before, they hit hard. So yeah, I would definitely dress my running backs, get them in some series, get them in some situations so they can be familiar, with our red zone play, fourth down play, things of that nature. Yeah, keep them fresh. I
yeah
agree.
I agree. It would be 2, 3, and 4 would be out there, not one. I would play 3 and 4. I wouldn't even play 1 and 2.
Absolutely.
So that being said, don't get caught on the player parlays because you may
Right.
see somebody because they may come up if they're playing if they're already in the playoffs, they're gonna pull them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They may not even
Absolutely.
start, or they may play one down, or one
Mm-hmm.
series. So that's something you got to think about before you go ahead and. All right, so Tampa Bay's playing Carolina. So Tampa Bay's
Tampa
got
Bay.
to win. They got to win. Tampa
Yeah,
Bay's
they
got to
gotta win.
win.
Yeah, we got Tampa Bay's gotta win. I think they should be able to pull that win off on the road, but like you say, Carolina has nothing to lose, and they might just bring it to Tampa just to get the revenge from the first game that they lost, and you know what I'm saying, and to help maybe dethrone them from their top seed.
Yeah, just to be So this could be. I like Tampa, but like you just said, they're playing a team
Yeah,
with nothing to lose, and they're
nothing to
going to
lose,
be
and they could be
dangerous
they could be very spiteful, in this game. So
because there's been some games where Carolina played pretty tough. You know what I mean? There's been a couple games. It's like, oh, okay. Um, I mean, granted, they're super young. They need a bunch of
right,
help. Um, but they'll get there. They're going to get another. They're going to get some more first round draft choices this year. Um, so I feel like they're moving in the right direction.
right, right.
So, I do like Tampa, Tennessee, and the Jaguars. Let me pull that. Tennessee's out of it. They're
Right. They're
done.
playing in Tennessee as well.
Jaguars. So the Jaguars got to win too.
Yes.
They need to
On
win
the
in
road in
case.
Tennessee.
Yeah, they do not need to lose, and then Indianapolis or Houston. You know what I mean? So they all need to
Right.
win. If everybody wins, well, not everyone can win. Indianapolis or Houston is going to win. Jacksonville needs to win to clear it. So this is a
Right.
must-win for Sunshine. So that being said, they're -5. Tennessee's coming off a big loss. Tennessee's going to bring it, but I like the Jags at home
Mm-hmm.
-5. I do, I do, I do. Okay, this next one, I'm gonna let you handle all this. Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints. What's your thoughts? You got to win.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints. We have the Falcons at home. Must win. Um, possibly playing for Dennis Allen job, although there have been reports out there that they have no intentions of letting him go. They're going to let him stay around. I have my thoughts on that, but we'll save that for a. I will record that and I will upload it to I'll upload it to the sportsbook
Okay,
guys. I'll because we don't have enough time right now, so I'll make that a whole thing and I'll post that. But back to the subject: Saints versus Falcons. Saints at home need to win, should win, um, because of the fact that I don't know the quite uh positions of their picks that they have, but I think if they make a run for Justin Fields from Chicago, and they are somehow able to get Eric Bieniemy from Washington, which I don't think he's leaving. I think he might be in line for that coaching job they uh once they get rid of Rod Rivera. I think they're gonna put him in place because and I'll get to that, Tony. I don't want to get off subject and waste a whole bunch of time on that.
okay,
But I'm going with the Saints at home as a must win. I think they can beat the Falcons at home
I
if
agree.
they just play solid football, score in the red zone, and the defense just don't break and cut down on the penalty. Saxon a lot, but that's what's going to have to happen because you need this win and you need Tampa Bay to lose so that you can get the play
Right,
and
right,
get the
right.
number one seed.
Yeah, I like I like New Orleans at home over the Falcons. I do. Um, the next game, just so the next game is Detroit with Minnesota. Obviously, Minnesota is not playing for anything but pride. Um,
And the Lions
so
are at home. Yeah, Lions are at
so
home. They want, I
they
think,
won
uh,
division. They've already won their division, but they could,
mhm,
if they win, they could clinch a bye where somebody, what I mean, they can't get all home field advantage. Well, maybe something. I say that, but because San Fran clinched division and bye, you get the bye
mhm,
the first week, but if San
right,
Fran, that so they everybody kind of needs to win to put a
right. Yeah, the Lions need to
or
win because if they have
yeah,
to play if they have to play their first playoff game on the road, at least they got that bye to rest all their players up and implement some new plays and some
yeah,
strategies, or tweak some of the strategies they have.
right, right. Right now
So
they
it
got
could
the
benefit.
division, but yes,
Right.
you're right. Or you just say, hey, um, I don't know. I think he's going to go. I think Campbell goes for the win. I
Hmm.
do because I
I do
think he
too.
needs that bye. I think
Hmm. And he
I
needs to
think
get the
that
locker room back from, them getting from what back from my understanding, for them getting quote unquote screwed over by the refs. I think they're gonna need to
oh
they're gonna want to play and get their redemption.
yeah, he was hot. He was hot. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
That man was hot.
yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah, so I like Detroit Lions going to um like I said, Sunday when you get up, look at everything because if they're gonna pull
Hmm.
anybody, this is when they're gonna pull it. So Dallas is playing Washington. Means nothing to Washington,
Hmm.
but Dallas wants to win the division. So, but they're giving Washington 13 points. Can Washington muster up enough kahunas to make this a game with the 13 points? That's the question here.
Yeah, and Washington keep now if they keep Dallas low scoring, they got a shot because we know how they are on the road. They're a totally different team. So if they can keep this game within field goals reach, they have a good chance of winning. But if Dallas goes in there with the momentum that they had at home, lights out.
Right. So, Washington plus 13 is the. I'm going to look at this game some more come
Hmm.
Sunday. Um, I just want to see who's not playing. I mean, Washington is playing for nothing, but they're playing for
Right.
pride. They're
Hmm.
trying to upset. they want to upset Dallas, and the 13 points is, I believe Dallas is going to probably win. There's no doubt. Even though I mean, even though they don't travel well, but golly, they're in Washington. But the 13 points, because my thing is once Dallas gets up and they got it in a controllable situation, you would think they would pull Dak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And
especially
that's
that
when
fourth
the
quarter. He
score
shouldn't play
gets.
in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if if they're beating them handily, Dak shouldn't play in the fourth.
Right, and that's usually when the spread helps you out, because then they put in their second strings, and yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that. Come Sunday. Now this next game is for absolutely nothing but pride. It is Las Vegas Raiders against Denver Broncos.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
I like the Raiders only because he's got them. They just coming off a short. They coming off that losing by 3 points to Indianapolis, and I think the Broncos are going to reboot after the year. You know what I mean? I just think it's going to be because you made a good point. Was why did Sean take the job if you didn't want Russell Wilson? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why did you? And it's obvious now he never wanted Russell Wilson.
No. Now, at first I thought when he saw Russ, it's like, okay, kind of guy of Drew Brees with better feet. That's what I thought he was going into that whole situation, thinking that
Right.
with Russell Wilson, I got a Drew Brees, but with better feet. And it didn't turn out, what I'm saying, bless you. It didn't turn out that way. And that it's going to be a whole change there. The ownership, that was the quarterback that the coach wanted, you know what I'm saying? And that was the last regime that was in there. So but I think I agree with you. I think everything is for sale with the Denver Broncos, with maybe Patrick Surtain being hands off, or at least I would at least retain Patrick.
Yeah.
He's a high level Pro Bowl quarterback. But I think everything else is for sale there, and they're just going to reboot this thing and let Sean do it the way he do it. And remember, Sportsbook Army, we got it set up for where if Sean Payton makes a play, Taysom Hill, and you agree with me, and I go in the comments and see that you agree with that take, and it becomes true. We got something special. It's going to keep it. We're going to keep it secret right now. We're going to let it play out, and then we'll reveal what that secret is, or that special is for you guys that's rocking with Lou and his take.
So, yeah, I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders at home. Over 2.5. It's going to be a tight game because they always play each other. This conference game. Kansas City, Los Angeles Chargers. I think Kansas City is in a gotta win. Cannot keep. Gotta keep.
They got to get back to wherever they were mentally. They have to get back to that, and it hasn't been there this season. And the reason is these right here. Receivers don't have any hands. The ones that they need are dropping passes. Can't do it. Can't do it. But they did an excellent job last. They did an excellent job last Sunday night. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna make a move for some quality, at least a quality receiver.
So Kansas City already knows. Kansas City already knows that they won their conference. They're not going to win home field without. So now looking back at that game, Kansas City is +2. Mahomes probably doesn't play.
Right.
Excuse me again.
Bless.
Thank you. So on that aspect of it, because again, wait till Sunday, I'd have to go with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I have to know. We'll know Sunday for sure, but most likely Mahomes ain't going to play. They're going to try to heal, and
Right.
because they already know they can't get home field advantage throughout.
Right.
Okay, next game. All right, San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams.
Mm-hmm.
So San Francisco, they're definitely going to try to win because they're trying to have home field advantage without, and everybody all
Mm-hmm.
they got to do is win to have home field advantage. If they lose, I don't know how it would all. I don't know how it would break up. If they lose and go to 12-5, and Dallas wins, goes to 12-5, it would have to go to San Fran because they beat them,
Right.
and then and maybe that's what they're banking on. Like, hey, it doesn't matter even if we lose. Again, watch Sunday when they announce who's playing. Um, and that's like I said, this time of year you gotta analyze who's got something to play for, who don't have something to play for. Um,
Absolutely.
because just like Kansas City, there's no point. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we're not going to get home. Might as well rest everybody. And
Right.
San Fran
Right.
may be in
Absolutely.
that. San Fran might be in the same deal. Arizona and Seattle. Kind of disappointed with Seattle last. Um, Arizona. This will be a tough game. I like
Yeah.
the under in this game. I'll have to look at it on Sunday and see who's playing and who's not playing. Um, what's crazy, a lot of times this time of year, there's a lot of people already clocking out, getting ready for the off season. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And I think we're going to see a lot of stuff. I think we have to see a lot of things change with Arizona. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it's 4 years in a row, nothing.
Yeah, and it's been a reboot almost every time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been a reboot. Um, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears playing at home. Chicago's been playing great. Let me see here. Green Bay has not been eliminated exactly. Um,
Right.
they haven't been eliminated. Either is Minnesota. They haven't been eliminated mathematically. But a lot of crazy stuff would have to happen. Um, Seattle's playing for it. They haven't been eliminated.
Okay.
I like I like Green Bay. Jordan Love.
Okay.
It's going to be a tough game though. Tough game. It's going to be well. They both play well in the cold, so
Mm-hmm.
that's not. But I like. Let me run. Let me see. Green Bay -3 on the road. Last but not least, no, I ain't saying last but not least,
Okay.
is the Eagles against the Giants. This is a must win. This is a must win for Philadelphia. They got to
Yeah.
win. They want to keep the divisional title.
Mm-hmm.
So, under them circumstances, I like Philadelphia over the Giants. It's going to be a
Yeah, I do
tight
too.
game, but yeah, I like Philly to figure it out. What the heck is going on? Um,
I think they
really,
need
these
to get back to just basic, solid football. I think they're feeling themselves too much with the tush push and all that going on over there in Philly. I think that
tush
they
push.
kind of lost track of, you know, fundamentally sound football. So I think if they need to get back to that, if they get back to that, I think they should handle business with the New York Giants. But
Yes,
I'm not sure which Philly team is going to show up. If they show up with drama, they're not going to win anything.
yeah, because New York's playing for nothing. They're just trying to play for pride.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, this kind of worked out. The Buffalo Bills playing at home against the Miami Dolphins. And so let's bring this up. Let me see. So I think we can win the division. If we win this game, we would have beat them twice. We would have the same record. We'd have the same record, but we would have beat them twice.
Right.
So there's a lot on the line. The good news is Buffalo's playing at home. And hopefully the weather will be very cold. I'm hoping that it's going to be cold. It's the late night game. That's our last game of the season. Can you imagine that, Lou? It's unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
By like an arrow.
Man, it did. And hey, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Like I said, we got a bunch of stuff happening in 2024. So, all right, we will see you next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on KM Radio, where we go ham.